Okay, let's just jump right in. There's this, frankly, jaw-dropping statistic out there.
Yeah.
82% of leaders, they think this year is the moment
It's a pivotal moment.
to completely rethink how they run things, all because of AI. And get this, 81% expect AI agents, actual agents, to be woven into their work in the next, what, 12 to 18 months?
It's incredibly fast. And those numbers coming together like that, it tells you something big is happening.
Absolutely. So think of this as your shortcut, maybe, your way to get your head around this massive shift that's happening in work.
And it's not just a feeling leaders have. This is grounded in some serious research, right? The 2025 Work Trend Index Annual Report.
Exactly. That's what we're diving deep into today, this
Yeah.
idea of the frontier firm. It's like an organization being fundamentally rewired by AI, by humans and agents working together.
Uh-huh.
And the source material here is pretty hefty. We're talking a survey of 31,000 workers
Wow.
across 31 countries, plus LinkedIn data on the job markets, trillions of signals from Microsoft 365. So how work actually gets done.
Yeah, anonymized signals, but
Right.
still a massive view into productivity friction points
There.
where AI could step in.
Right. And they didn't just crunch numbers. They talked to people on the ground, AI startups, academics, leaders, really pushing the envelope.
That mix is important, isn't it? The big data and the human insights gives you a much richer picture.
Totally. So our mission today, really, for you listening,
Hmm.
is to boil this all down, cut through the noise.
Yeah, there's a lot of noise around AI.
Exactly. We want to give you clarity on how AI is becoming more than just a tool.
Mhm.
It's like rewriting the rules of business, maybe even your own career path.
Mhm.
And the report points to three big shifts driving this whole frontier firm thing. First, intelligence on tap.
Okay.
Second, these human agent teams popping up and shaking up the old org
Mhm.
charts.
Right.
And third, this idea that every single employee is becoming an agent boss.
An ancient boss. Interesting.
Yeah. So let's start with that first one, intelligence on tap. What is that actually? What does that mean?
Well, think about it historically. A company's brain power was pretty much limited, right? By the people they hired, by how many hours are in the day, how much one person can juggle.
Sure. Human limits.
Exactly. Intelligence on tap means that's changing. Intelligence is becoming something you can access almost like a utility. It's scalable, on demand.
Hmm.
Basically digital labor.
Digital labor. I like that. So it's not just about finding smart people anymore.
It's still vital, but it's also about how good you are at using this digital intelligence that's becoming available. It changes the game.
And you can see why companies are grabbing onto this. The report highlights this huge pressure cooker situation. 53% of leaders say we need more productivity.
Right. The demand is up.
But then 80% of the workforce, leaders included,
Mm.
say they're tapped out. No time, no energy to do the work they already have.
That gap is massive.
Hey.
80% feeling overwhelmed.
And think about why. The report mentions the average worker gets interrupted. Wait for it. 275 times a day.
What? Seriously?
Yeah, 275 times. How can you possibly get deep work done?
You can't. It's impossible. So you see this capacity gap widening. What companies need versus what people can sustainably deliver. And that's where this on-tap idea gets really appealing. Leaders see it. That's why 82% of them are saying, yeah, we're confident we'll use this digital labor to boost our capacity soon, like next year or so.
It's not just wishful thinking then, it's sounding like a plan.
Seems like it. They see the pressure, they see the tool.
And it's not just theory. The report has some killer examples, like a solo founder,
Mhm.
one person, on track for $2 million this year using an AI staffing firm.
Wow, okay. Leveraging that digital labor.
Totally. Or I think big companies. Dow thinks they can save millions just in year one by having an AI agent catch billing errors in their supply chain.
Tiny errors that add up across huge scale. Makes sense.
Yeah, and then there's this small startup, ICG, 5 people. They boosted their margins by 20% using AI for everything from construction simulations to market research.
5 people doing that kind of sophisticated work. That's the democratizing effect right there.
It really is. Even things like budgeting. An entrepreneur running it all with an AI tool, no CFO.
That's pretty disruptive.
It paints this picture of intelligence just being there, ready to use, and it changes how we even think about our jobs, doesn't it?
Absolutely. The report nails this.
Right.
It's shifting from what tasks do I do, like I send emails or I write reports,
Yeah, the doing part.
to something more like I create and manage agents.
Mhm.
You're orchestrating the work, not just executing every single piece yourself.
That's a profound shift for knowledge work.
Yeah.
Orchestrating agents.
Yeah. And the report identifies these frontier firms, the ones out front. they have a few traits in common.
Okay, like what?
Like, they've rolled out AI across the whole organization. They're pretty mature in how they use it. They're already using agents and plan to use more.
Mm-hmm.
And crucially, they really believe agents are key to getting actual value, ROI, from their AI investments.
Got it. So they're all in strategically.
Pretty much. And you see the difference it makes for their people.
Oh, yeah. How so?
Well, compare them to the global average. In frontier firms, 71% of employees say their company is thriving. Globally, only 37%.
Wow, that's a huge difference, almost double.
And frontier firm employees are way more likely to feel like they can handle more work, 55% versus 20% globally.
So they feel more capable, less overwhelmed.
Seems like it. And 90% find opportunities for meaningful work compared to 73% globally.
Okay, so it's not just about efficiency. It sounds like it's actually boosting morale and engagement too.
That's what the data suggests. Integrating this stuff well seems to create a healthier, more dynamic environment.
Fascinating. Okay, so intelligence is on tap. Let's move to that second shift. Human agent teams and how they're messing with the traditional org chart.
Right. The report uses this term, the work chart.
The work chart. Okay, break that down for us. How's that different from the org chart we all know?
Think of the old org chart. It's rigid, right? Departments in silos, marketing, finance, IT layers of management. Static.
Yeah, boxes and lines.
Exactly. The work chart is fluid, dynamic. It forms around projects or outcomes, not fixed departments.
Okay.
The analogy they use is making a movie. You pull together a specific team director, DP, sound, actors for that movie. When it's done, team disbands.
Ah, okay. Project-based teams.
Right, but supercharged with AI agents. Teams form around goals, bring in the human skills they need, and leverage agents to fill gaps or boost capabilities. It's less about where you sit on the chart, more about what intelligence, human or digital, you bring to the task.
That makes a lot of sense. You don't need every single expert in-house in one department if an agent can provide that capability.
Precisely. Teams can be leaner, more cross-functional, faster, and there's evidence. That Harvard study they mentioned. R&D teams with AI came up with more commercially viable stuff.
Right, and business teams develop more technical solutions.
Yeah, it breaks down those knowledge silos. And that AI first ad agency example, super good. Flattened structure. Everyone accesses strategic insights via their AI platform.
Yeah.
It changes how they collaborate.
So AI acts like a bridge between different types of expertise.
In many ways, yes. But the report is clear. It's not all automation.
Okay.
Some routine, rule-based stuff. Yeah, agents might take over almost completely. But things needing judgment, empathy, real creativity, that stays human-centric.
Finding the right balance. And are there specific areas where this is happening faster? Where's the investment going?
Good question. Leaders globally pointed to customer service, marketing, and product development as top areas for accelerated AI investment.
The front lines, really.
Yeah, and you see that reflected in the frontier firms. They're using AI much more heavily in marketing, customer success, comms, even data science compared to average companies.
So that's where this human-agent collaboration is really taking hold first.
Looks like it. And managing these new kinds of teams, it requires a new way of thinking, which leads to this concept of the human-agent ratio.
Human-agent ratio. Okay,
Yeah.
sounds important. It's not just more agents equals better.
Definitely not. It's about finding the sweet spot. How much agent efficiency can you leverage versus how much human oversight, strategy, and frankly, ethical judgment do you need?
Right. Critical questions for leaders.
Absolutely. What's the right mix for this task? How much human expertise is needed to guide the agents effectively? That Harvard study, again, an AI-augmented individual often beat a non-AI team,
Uh-huh.
but the best work often came from a human team using AI together. It's about augmentation, collaboration, not just replacement.
Okay, collaboration is key. And why are employees choosing to use AI? The report looked into that, right?
Yeah, it's interesting. Top reasons were it's always available, 24/7.
Makes sense.
It's fast and gives good quality results, and it can brainstorm endless ideas.
Okay, so productivity and creativity boosters.
Pretty much. What was less cited was stuff like, I want to avoid being judged by my colleague, or I'm too impatient to explain it to a person.
Huh. So it's not primarily about avoiding people.
Doesn't seem like it. It's more about enhancing their own capabilities, getting things humans alone maybe can't provide as quickly or tirelessly.
That's a positive spin, actually.
Yeah.
But there's a catch. A mindset shift needed.
Yeah, potentially. Right now, only 46% of workers see AI as a true thought partner, something you can bounce ideas off, challenge, refine things with.
And the rest.
52% see it more like a tool you just give commands to. do this.
Okay, so more like a very advanced appliance than a collaborator?
Kind of. And bridging that gap, learning to interact with AI more conversationally, more strategically, that's going to be crucial for these human agent teams to really fly.
Which means new skills are needed.
For sure. The report mentions things like iterating effectively with AI, knowing what to delegate, crafting good prompts. That's huge.
Yeah, prompt engineering is a whole thing now.
Right. And critically evaluating the AI's output, refining it, knowing when to say, no, that's not right, and push back. These are the skills for this new world.
Okay, so we have intelligence on tap. We have these new human agent teams, which brings us to the third shift. Every employee becomes an agent boss. Tell me more about that.
It sounds pretty futuristic, but the idea is simple. Imagine every worker, no matter their job title, essentially directing their own little team of AI agents.
Like a personal digital crew.
Exactly. Specialized agents helping you achieve your goals. You're the manager, the boss of these agents.
That sounds empowering. Are people ready for that? Leaders seem more tuned in.
Yeah, the numbers suggest leaders are further ahead on this. 67% of leaders know about AI agents versus only 40% of employees.
Okay, a bit of a gap there.
And leaders are more bullish on how AI affects their own careers. 79% think it'll accelerate them, compared to 67% of employees. The report calls it the race to be an agent boss.
A race. So leaders see the potential advantage in mastering this.
Seems that way. And they expect their teams to get on board quickly. Within 5 years, leaders predict their teams will be doing things like redesigning business processes with AI, building multi-agent systems for complex problems, training agents, managing agents.
It really is becoming a core management skill then.
It looks like it. The skills you use to manage people, delegation, oversight, feedback, they're being adapted for managing digital team members too.
That onboarding analogy they use makes sense then. You need informed trust with an agent, not micromanagement.
Exactly. Define the goal, give it context, trust it to run, but verify the results. Don't hover over its digital shoulder.
Right. And this could really change things for people early in their careers, couldn't it?
Oh, massively. The report suggests junior employees might tackle much more strategic work much sooner. Imagine managing AI agents from day one in your first job.
That's wild. Like a junior marketer orchestrating a whole campaign using specialized agents.
Precisely. It bypasses some of the traditional hierarchy and learning steps. You can have a bigger impact faster, especially in those frontier firms doing this already.
And it's a big but. People need the skills, right? Training must be essential.
Absolutely critical. It's a huge focus.
Yay.
47% of leaders say upskilling their current folks is a top priority.
Okay.
And over half of managers expect AI training to be part of their job for their teams soon. They're even thinking about new roles, AI trainers, agent specialists. 78% of leaders are looking into that.
So AI literacy isn't just nice to have anymore.
No way. It's becoming table stakes for knowledge work. The report basically says AI literacy is the skill for 2025, alongside those irreplaceable human skills like critical thinking, complex problem solving.
The combination, human plus AI.
That's the synergy they're pointing to.
Which brings us back to the beginning, really, 2025. Maybe the year the frontier firm is truly born. It feels like a moment, doesn't it? Like the early internet days.
It does have that feel. Understanding this now, adapting now, it seems pretty crucial.
Yeah. For individuals, for whole companies.
It's not some far-off future. It's happening. The ones who get this new way of working the intelligence on tap, the human agent teams, the agent boss mindset, they're the ones likely to, really succeed.
Okay, so let's quickly recap the big takeaways from this deep dive. First, intelligence isn't scarce anymore. It's becoming abundant, on tap. That changes everything.
Right. Second, teams are transforming. Less rigid silos, more dynamic work charts powered by human agent collaboration.
And third, everyone needs to start thinking like an agent boss, developing the skills to manage and work with AI effectively.
And the bottom line for you, listening, this isn't just for Google or some AI startup.
Right.
These waves are going to ripple out and touch pretty much every knowledge worker. So being proactive, learning how to swim in these new waters, that's going to be key to not just surviving, but thriving.
Definitely. So maybe here's a final thought to chew on. In a world where intelligence itself is becoming abundant, what makes humans valuable?
Good question.
If AI handles more of the raw processing, maybe our unique value lies in the guiding, the collaborating, the creative steering of that intelligence. What new kinds of innovation or even just better ways of working could that unlock for you?
Yeah. Maybe it's time to think about your own human-agent ratio. What could an agent help you with? How can you start building those agent boss muscles, even in small ways?
Something to definitely think about.